So once you've looked at straight line equations, we're now going to be looking at circle equations. So the very basic form of a circle equation is x minus a squared plus y minus b squared is equal to r squared. So like the straight line equation where we have the general form y is mx plus c, this is the general form for a circle equation. So a couple of things to note. Our a and b values are going to be the center of the circle. So the circle center is going to be a comma b. And as you can see, it's going to be, because it's minus a minus b, the center is going to be minus a. The center is going to be a comma b. If, for example, I had the equation x plus 2 squared plus y minus 4 squared is equal to r squared, then the center is the opposite sign. So in this case, it's going to be negative 2 comma 4 like this. So that's how you work at the circle center from this equation. And secondly, this r stands for the radius of the circle. So from the center to the outside of the circle, the r is going to be the radius. And as you can see here, it's also r squared. So just be careful of that. So certain questions they could give you is like, for example, x plus 1 squared plus y plus 2 squared is equal to 25. What's the circle center? What's the radius? Well, the circle center is going to be minus 1 comma minus 2. So 1 and 2 with opposite signs. And the radius is actually going to be 5, not 25, okay? Because this 25 is equivalent to r squared, not r. So the radius, you have to square root it. Okay? So just be careful of those kind of small tricks that they could give you. Right, so let's try this one here. So we have the point 4, 2 lies in the circle center 8, 1. So if I was to quickly sketch it, so 8, 1, and then it's going to look something like this. Okay, and then 4, minus 2, so roughly here, it's going to lie on the circle. And they're asking us to find the equation of the circle. So straight away, we know the center, right? 8, 1, so I can write that down. So it's going to be x minus 8 squared plus y minus 1 squared is equal to r squared. So straight away, we know the center, so we can write it in this form. We just need to find the radius, right? And radius is the distance between the center to the circle. So we know the center and we know the a point on the circle, so we can just find this r value here, which is equivalent to just finding the distance between 2 points, which we've learned in the previous videos. So r will just be the square root of changing x squared, so 8 minus 4 squared plus changing y squared, 1 minus 2 squared like this. So we have 4 squared plus 3 squared. This is root 25, so this is going to be equal to 5 like this. So therefore, the final circle equation is going to be x minus 8 squared plus y minus 1 squared is equal to r squared. Remember, this is going to be r, so r squared will just be 25 like this. This is going to be the equation of this particular circle. So just be careful of the form and where your center is and where your radius is, and just make sure you write it in the right form that they're giving you. Okay, let's try another circle equation. So we have the point P, which is 7, minus 14, which lies in the circle with the equation x squared plus y squared plus 6x minus 14y is 17. The point Q also lies in the circle such that PQ is the diameter. Find the coordinate of Q. So they've given us this circle equation, but as you should notice, it's not actually in the form we've been accustomed to, that x minus a squared plus y minus b squared is r squared. So they've given it in this form here, where it's x squared plus y squared plus 6x minus 14y is equal to 17. So the way we actually change it into the general circle equation form is by completing the square. So we've learned about completing the square in the previous chapters. So we're going to complete the square, and you'll see how it changes into the general form we've learned before. So let's start the x squared plus 6x plus y squared plus minus 14y is equal to 17. So I'm going to complete the square for x and then y separately. Okay, so looking at the x's, we have x plus 3 squared minus 3 squared, and for the y's it'll be y minus 7 squared minus 7 squared is equal to 17. Once again, if you're still unsure about completing the square, maybe go back and look at the completing the square video, and then you will probably just get reminded very easily. So we'll have x plus 3 squared minus 9 plus y minus 7 squared minus 49 is equal to 17. Now I can just bring the 9 and 49 to the other side, so we have x plus 3 squared plus y minus 7 squared is equal to, what do we have here, 49, 73 like this, okay? And so now we know the center is minus 3, 7, and the radius is going to be root 73 like so. Right, once we found this, we are still asked to find the coordinate of Q, and they said that Q is going to be the diameter. So P and Q make up the diameter of the circle. And so what we found is P, and we've also found the center now because we've written in this form, which is -3, 7. So what we can say is, well, if PQ is the diameter and then PR is the radius, then the point in the middle, the center of the point, would be the midpoint of P and Q. So we can use the midpoint equation we've learned earlier. So I can say that this midpoint, which is -3, 7, i.e. the center, is going to be equal to the sum of the P and Q x's. So P was 7 plus x over 2, and then -14 plus y over 2. Okay, so x and y are the coordinates of the coordinate Q. So therefore we have, looking at the x's, -3 is equal to 7 plus x over 2. -6 is 7 plus x, so x is going to be -13. Looking at the y, 7 is -14 plus y over 2. So 14 is equal to -14 plus y, so y is going to be equal to 28. So the coordinate of Q is going to be -13, 28, like this. Okay, so as you can see, you just have to visualize a bit just to see what it looks like. But you can see, like, because P, the center is in the middle, and P and Q are the diameters, then we can find Q by using the midpoint equation.